Boom. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the June 9th edition of Morning Mindset. I'm your host, Todd. How are you doing today? That's what we really know is how are you doing? Are you good? Is everything fine with you? You having anything? Hey, reach out. If you're having any issues, let us know. So we're here to help. We're here to clear your mind. We're here to help you out. Let us make sure that you can hear and see me though, because then I'm not effective if we're not. Now, it's your first time here. Here's what we need from you. I need to know who you are, where you're from, what the weather's like in your area, and what's in your cup. I know I need to know a lot. This is where we learn new things about people, where they're from, how things are going, and it's just part of the process. The other thing that I think the most important thing is 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 things that you are going to accomplish today. Now, something else too is that Facebook and StreamYard don't always play nice together. It's just the way it works. So what you can do is head right over here and go to fatdadlive.com. That'll get you into our YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure like, subscribe. You can join the membership if you'd like as well. Go ahead and do all that. That way, when we go live, you will be notified. So that's my ask. Go here, hit the buttons, do your thing, and then we can go from there. But so here in the Midwest, it is it's low 60s. It was a little chilly on the golf cart this morning, so that's why I put on the hoodie, because it was a little chilly out. It is the last day of school here. Yes, finally, June 9th, it is the last day of school. They only go for like 2 hours or something, so we maybe it's like 3, because we got to pick them up at 10:55, which means we're leaving here, 10:15, 10:30, somewhere around there. Go up there, hang out with the other parents, and go. So that is priority number 1 today. Last day of kids' school. About time. I'm ready to have some helpers in here, shirt folders, garbage picker-uppers, some cleaners. It's nice. It'll be nice to have the kids home for the summer, because it just is. It'll throw my schedule totally out of whack, though, because I'm usually here in the office between 5 and 6, and then 7:30, I shut it down so that way we can take them to school, and then I'm back in here. We've got morning mindset. We've got everything from there. So it was like my little morning break. Now I won't have that. I'll just work through, so I don't need to start setting alarm. I'll set an alarm on Monday for sure to remind me, hey, go get ready for morning mindset, because you're going to forget about it, because that's what you're going to do. Now, our 5 things today. As you know, the end of the week, I try and make it lighter. I'll work longer earlier in the week, so that way we can get it here. And today, and the reason being is like today, we're going to be gone go to get the kids, and then probably do lunch with them or something. And then, tonight, we've got SpongeBob the musical we're going to. So we've got a fun Friday planned out. For us, we've got to print DTFs. I've got a jersey order that needs pressed and then delivered today. I've got invoicing that need to get done. Quotes, I've already got quotes that I've sent out from there. And then 5 is going to be work on the business. And what does that mean to you? So this is work on the business. To me, that's not doing anything production. So that's not printing transfers. That's not pressing shirts. That's not invoicing. That's not quotes. That's actually doing something that is going to produce income for the business, income producing activity. So for us, whether that's doing Facebook posts, or whether that's doing, I got to do some mock-ups possibly. I've got to add some stuff to the website. I'm on a marketing thing that I'm looking at, a marketing program. So we're going to really dive into that today. I'm going to work more on the business to set us up, because, you can't just sit back and think things are going to happen. You always have to push stuff up, put things out there. So for me, it's going to be, setting up those posts, getting those things done, getting everything taken care of from there. So that way, we have content scheduled up from there. Make sure YouTube stuff is up to date, because I did notice that this morning. There's some stuff that I need to change in there. So in general, just work on the business and put it out there. That's our things, and we'll come back to it. But let's check in. How are you? Put all your stuff in there and let's see what's going on. Darren, good morning to you. On duty today, you picked up the radiator. Yeah, you're going to get that done. Going to be a busy tomorrow. I kind of ran through a plan this morning of what I need to do. We've got the pump on the pool is ran through an electrical cord, right? That's how it works. And that always freaks Corey to unplug it out when she has to clean out the pump. So I told her I would build a switch box for it this weekend. So that way all she'll do is just go out there and hit the switch. So that's on my goal. When I was in the shed, I've noticed it for a while, and you know how things go. They start little and you notice it, then you just ignore it. And then finally you need to fix something. There was a soft spot in the floor right at the beginning of the door. And so it's actually, now becoming a hole. So I'm going to cut out a piece and put a new floor in the shed. I'm going to clean out the shed because it's going to be a gorgeous weekend. And so I can start the process of redoing stuff that needs to move around, get rid of stuff that's in the shed that the kids just don't use anymore. We don't use, we haven't used. Throw a new storage system in there so we can tote it up, move more stuff from our loft in the garage out there, and then it's going to work backwards. It's going to start at the shed. The garage stuff is going to come down, do the shed, and then once from there, then it'll be start to convert the garage into the shop. So little steps, little baby steps, but it's progress, and that's what it is: progress, progress, progress. So this weekend is going to be it's going to be fun little projects like that, right? And I still want to put that hot water spigot outside. What were your thoughts on that? What do you think of me putting a hot water spigot outside, mainly for the pressure washer? I think it'd just be cool. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. 80. I only expect to be 88 today. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Barb, good morning to you from north central Minnesota. 63 degrees, partly cloudy, and headed to mid 70s. Iced tea in the cup. That sounds like a beautiful, beautiful day. And Barb's 5 things: invoicing, banking, digitize a couple logos, jacket zipper replacement, and new customer contact. There it is. See, Barb's working on the business and in the business. Great split of time there, Barb. Marine, good morning. Depending on UPS, and I'll heat pressing today. It's supposed to rain most of the day. Thanks for a quick turnaround. You're very welcome on that. And we've got friends that want to move down to Florida. And when I saw your address, I said, I think we found a neighborhood to move into. And she was like, oh my God, yes, I need to move into that neighborhood because we also live on a cul-de-sac here, but it is nowhere near named as cool as yours. Ours is just, a street name. But I was like, she goes, yep, we should just move. We should just move. So we're going to move down there apparently to you. Renee, greetings. 62 from glorious Chicagoland. It is sadly supposed to be up to 90. Is it supposed to be that? I didn't think it was supposed to be that hot here today. Now I got to look and see. I thought it was only going to be like low to mid 80s. I got to look and see because that was not what I was thinking. Yeah, see, for us, we've only got 84. 84 today, then 86 tomorrow, then 74 on Sunday. And then next week, we're not hitting the 90s till next weekend, of there. But the rest of that, it looks like 70s and 80s. So gorgeous here, just a few hours away. So 10 degrees cooler. Come see us. I'm super excited it's not going to be near 90. I didn't want that. It probably will be, though, because I've got stuff to do. But coffee and cup, water in the bottle. Oh, I've got Blue Raz Bang is what we're doing. Blue Raz Bang. I think he said, forget about us. No, I didn't forget about you guys. I did not forget about you. I was one of those where you're in your schedule, right? Here's what's going on. Here's like my schedule was, for the last, 9 months, 7:30, stop work, get everything loaded up, take the kids to school, come back. And then it was make sure everything was set up for this prep, go right into it. Now, not having that there, I just have to make sure that my schedule gets to it. So I got to set an alarm because there's no 7:30, go do this, come back and that. It's gonna take me like a week to adjust, and then we'll be fine. Right? It's like when Ella used to come home from school. Yeah, it was 2:30. We knew that's what time. I was like, hey, where's Ella at? Why is she not home from school yet? We just knew. You just know when your schedules are there. We love it down there. See, maybe I should do it. 64 in Northern Kentucky for Jeff there. Print decals, laminate, 3D print some parts, find a happy place for new vinyl, enjoy a slow Friday for once. There's nothing wrong with that. But Jeff, what did you figure out on your print head? Were you able to get everything taken care of there? Because I see it says print decals, and I know you couldn't print on the low setting. So did you get everything figured out? What was the issue there? And Barb says this weekend, beautiful temps here, high of 70, 71. Yeah, this 70s. When we've got friends that are out in sunny San Diego, where it's just like mid 70s all the time, and like that's what you pay for. You pay for that beautiful weather. I could totally never get tired of waking up to that every day. But I could get tired of paying the price to live out there. I do not want that. But I love that weather. That was gorgeous out there. Things we did. Oh, we had some weird projects come in. We had somebody that they were the reflective safety belts. They sent us an email. They're like, hey, have you ever pressed on the reflective safety belts before? I'm like, no, haven't. I would assume they would be able to, but I don't know for sure. And I said I'd have to, run a sample through. And they're like, well, hey, can we send you some to test out and see? I'm like, sure, go ahead and do it. So they sent it worked beautifully. Sent them back and like, here's the picture of it. Worked out great. They're like, hey, cool. Can you go ahead and press the rest of those for us, and we can order some transfers? I'm like, sure, we can do that for you. So those were pretty cool to do that. I'll post pictures or videos on our website or on the group, so that way you can see those there. What else was there? Oh, it's got all the teachers' gifts out. So there was bags and cups and different things for there. So teachers' gifts done, ready to go. Those were delivered this morning. I had like 3 team orders of stuff that went out this week, so that was nice. And then there's looking to set up stuff for next week. We'll see. We've got 2 weeks to Father's Day, and there's a couple Father's Day tournaments I think people are trying to get stuff for. So we'll see how that goes. And then a jacket order where it was like 57, 58 jackets. So a pretty steady week here, but we're getting caught up right now. It looks like, as far as project-based stuff, one store closed. I think one store closed last night, so we got to order the stuff for it. And then we're to that time of year where the school stuff is done, the spring summer sports stuff is done for baseball, softball, things like that. We're wrapping that up, and so that just kind of becomes like not necessarily a dry time for us, but more it becomes, here's a bachelor party, here's event-based things. So that's what the mode that we're working into, and we'll do that for like the next month and a half or so. Probably up until mid-July, and then it's right back into the school stuff. So just kind of our like take a breather time till we start getting into that. This is where it's work on the business time, making sure I get more bundles out there, making sure that I'm getting the best ads that we can get out there, making sure I'm getting the best content out there. I'm working with somebody else to help build their business, so I'm trying a few different things, because if it works out well, in where I've laid out the plan and what it can do, it's going to be a service that we're going to offer as well. And it's just one of those things where, yes, it's going to be either a done for you type system or you do it yourself. But, we'll work with somebody on a few different projects with a few different leads on things. And I think overall we can make it work for everybody. And, I can't wait to see how that all plays out. So we're constantly trying to evolve our business, constantly trying to build our business. And I talked to somebody, I guess it started on like Tuesday, maybe it was Monday, but they were kind of down and out on their business, not sure if, one, they didn't think they were ready to do some stuff. And I'm like, and that's where, today's post came from. It's one of those where, I don't think you're ever ready. The best time to start something was yesterday. And you're going to fail. You're going to screw up. Things are going to happen. I've had my share of failures. You guys have seen them and watched them and heard about them. And I'm not afraid of those. I'm not afraid of failing. I'm afraid of not failing, right? I'm afraid of everything going right, because then what happens? Like, something's bound to happen. So there's always that fear of failure with it. But I know that we're just going to try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it didn't work. Nobody died. It's not the end of the world. But I'd rather try something and fail than to wonder what if. And it's a big thing for people to overcome. Is this design right? Is this product right? I'm not good enough. I'm not this. So the first person you have to start believing is in yourself, that you are capable of doing this. And that's where, hopefully we can help get you on track for that. One of the things that I'm learning in this new marketing training stuff that I'm taking, it seems like everybody has like this creed or this motto or these core values that they're reciting every day. That they've got to put out something that and so while it may seem hokey and like that wooey stuff, sometimes that wooey stuff works. It's like this morning mindset. Me and my list here, it works for me. And so I think I know that's, and I can't say I think, because I know it's one of the things that we're going to look at doing and just have it here, where get up every morning, those positive affirmations, right? Here, what's this mean to me? What are my core values? How is this? So I'm always true to ourselves, true to our business, true to our family, and true to you guys. And how can we, benefit ourselves and each other with it? So that's something that I'm gonna work on. That's all part of, going through that motion of being a business owner. You're going to have those highs of highs and those lows of lows. We had a couple days. It was this week is weird. We had one day where it was a couple $1,000s in sales, and then we had one day where it was like 0 sales. That's how this business works. And I can't let the 0 sales days get me down, because you have the days that are a couple thousand. That's how this business works. The 0 days actually, allow time to spread out, where, I'm not so rushed for projects. I can push things through. It allows for that. And you're going to have that. You know, it's weird for me to hear, business owners say that they, unless you're in certain types of business, you're always going that, or you're over a certain volume. I remember back when, getting an order over $100 was like, holy crap, that's awesome. And then it moved to like, holy crap, there's an order over $500. And then, holy crap, there's an order over 1,000, and then 2,000 and 5,000 and 10,000. And our largest order to date is, over $15,000. So I remember those milestones and that come from it, but I don't dwell on them. I don't think, oh, we need to have this. We have an average that we need to hit every day to make sure that we're taken care of. And sometimes that average is met on Monday. Sometimes it's met by Tuesday or Wednesday, but usually by Friday the week is covered. Sometimes it not always is, but that's the way businesses work. And the only way to stay consistent with that is consistently putting out your message, putting out your brand. I've put stuff out there, and if people don't know by now that we make shirts, especially people, friends of ours, it's 100% on me. That means I'm not telling them enough. When you look at any commercial, how many times you got to see it before you realize that you're watching the commercial? The songs on the radio, how many times do you hear that, if you listen to radio, but, on the streaming platform, whatever, how many times do you hear that song, on the top 40, that's 40 songs that they're rotating through all day, all night. So, it's constantly putting your message out there. And so I know I have to get better at it. I preach that. I schedule posts. I put it out there. And it seems like when I do that, where I'm like, man, I'm really going to bother some people with this. But then I realize I'm probably not, because even if I post once a day, maybe only 3% of the people that we're connected to are going to see that. So yeah, I'm not putting it out there enough. I guess I need to put out there multiple times throughout the day. Let's check and see what else we got in there. Chuck said, we have 2 seasons, Florida spring and summer. That sounds about right. Oh, Jeff said, I just put a full 30-inch roll in it and it worked this time. No clue why, but we'll find out shortly here if it was a fluke or not. Maybe it was just the material. It could be. I know on some of my material, I have to let out a lead, or back in there, I was running into the heater settings of it too, were causing the material to buckle. So it was bringing it up. It was a combination of the heating settings too high and the vacuum not on enough, so it allowed it to not suck down all the way and come up. So maybe that's something with it. Walker Woods, good morning to you. T-Town, how's it going? Oof. Working on 70 Chevelle, getting some tint done for my customer. All right. So T-Town, we're talking tint. What is the percentage of classic cars that you've tinted? Because there's 2 camps to this, right? There's the people that say, why would you ever tint, a classic car? And there's the other ones that says, I don't want to be able to see anybody to be able to see inside of it, right? There's 2 camps of it: crystal clear windows or dark tint. I don't think there's anybody that's like, well, I'm just going to do, the quarter windows and the back window. I'm not doing the sides. I'm not doing a bar across the top, any of that. Am I right? That assumption? It seems like there's, people that are dead set against it, that it should not be on a car, that if it didn't come factory with it, it does not get in. I could be wrong, but I'm 100% like, hey, if you're going to tint it. Like, it's weird to see. And when you start paying attention, you'll notice it, to see SUVs where they don't have tinted windows, at least on the back window, and the back passenger windows, back quarter panels, and the back window. When they don't, it's like looking into a school bus. Like, wait a minute, what's off with that? And you can't figure it out until you realize it's tint, that there's no tint there. And I've seen it in vans, I've seen it in SUVs, and it's really, really odd to me when there's not tint on anything anymore. So yeah, I don't, let me know what you feel about that. Kristen, good morning to you. Jeff said, I did turn down the heat and the vac is 100%. So yeah, maybe that was the issue with it. Harry, good morning to you, my friend. So yeah, for us, we've got, we had a couple rush jobs that came in yesterday that were out. We also had something else that we're working with on partnering. So we have somebody that we do DTF printing for them. They do screen printing for us. And it looks like we're going to be able to partner on some screen printed transfers. We've been running it with some people, some of our good customers that are, not saying that there's bad customers. There are bad customers, but none of you guys are bad customers. But there's certain images that just work better as screen printed transfers, especially when you're doing, like a bunch of single color stuff. And so we started talking back and forth. They're like, yeah, I can get you stuff. They're like, hey, listen, we can't compete with some of the big names out there, but we can make things work. So that way they make money, I make money, you guys are still able to make money. It's just a a work all throughout it. They're going to take care of drop shipping stuff straight for me. It's going to work out pretty slick, and it'll just add another revenue stream to them, another revenue stream to us, and then allow you to get things as well. So that's part of today working on the business, because I have to figure out the best way to kind of make this fluid between there, because they're not going to offer all kinds of crazy stuff. It's just going to be, here's what it is, and that's just it. If you want to figure out the rest, go for it. They're not looking to get in that side of things. Like, no, we just, if you want to run with it, go run with it. So we're building up that. We'll also, here in the next coming weeks, we're working with another partner on a full cut and sew shirt option. So full cut sew dye sub on it, where you're going to be able to upload artwork, and they're going to be able to cut and print, cut and sew those. You'll be able to have those back in let's say 2 to 3 weeks. Traditional time, it's 4 to 6 weeks. They're shooting 2 to 3 weeks. It's a company, they're already doing it, but they haven't hit the market for things of like the team sales. And that's where I said that's where we've seen it at, was to like those team sales, so like those 12 pieces or less, 13 pieces, under 24 pieces, is here's how you can do it, besides just doing a flat all over press on something, right? Like here's what you can do. So currently they're only going to offer shirts, but hey, full cut sew, there's going to be templates. So we're working on that. So that's going to be, I think, a really cool offering. And then I'm basically going to act as the middleman for that, because once again, they don't want to mess with that side of it. That's why they stayed away from it, because they didn't want to have the back and forth, going back for answers. But that's where the partnership comes in. I said, I can handle all that side for you. And for us in our business, we're looking at running things different ways. We're constantly looking at new revenue streams and way to put that in there. So, working with somebody to help us on screen printing transfers, another service we can offer. Working with somebody that can offer, full cut sew shirts, there's another service offer. Working with somebody else on marketing, so there's another service we can offer. So here's all these different services we're able to offer, where it doesn't require a whole lot of time on our side, because we're not doing the production side of it. So those are kind of some of the things that we're looking at doing. So that's kind of going on with there. Excuse me. Darren says, growing up, I always thought it was cool with conversion vans that you couldn't see in, but could see out. Yeah, right. And especially the cool ones that had the moonlighting on the top with the switches and that. I had one of those. I bought that in oh gosh, 20 some years ago, because we used it for tailgating, and it was awesome. That's all we used it for. You can only fit 2 people in it, because the rest of it was all filled with stuff for tailgating. Sometimes we could fit 4 in there, but that backbench seat folded into a bed, so you could stack the boxes up there. But we're talking, we would pull that out, and when we went tailgating to our local arena football team, we had the 10 by 10 tents that were in there. But then we also brought living room furniture. We set up a living room outside, so there was a couple chairs. We brought basically a full kitchen. A box truck would have been way better for us to get, but we brought all the stuff, and we got there at, the game wasn't until 7:00 that night, and we were there at 8, 9 in the morning doing breakfast, hitting golf balls across the river, having a ball of stuff. And my 20s, man, the 20s were where it was at for me. I've always wanted one. You should get one, Darren. You should get one. I totally want a 70 Shaggin' wagon. It's like the nice teardrop window in it. That's the van that I want. Or you just see one rolling around. I am down for an old Econoline. If you could get me the truck, I'm really down with that. There's a few things that are on my bucket list of stuff that I want. The VW double cab, I'm totally on board with that. I'm just not on board with like $50,000-$60,000 for it. I remember when you could find those, in decent shape for like $7,000. And I was buying Beetles at that time for under $1,000, and now it's like that. Jeeps were the same way. Jeeps could be had all the time for under $3,000-$4,000. It wasn't uncommon for it. Now you're finding one under $3,000-$4,000. And, the frame is totally rotted out. There's a bunch of issues with it. It's just some of that stuff has really gotten ridiculous on it. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure the best way to go about it. But like I said, for us, we got a pretty laid back day today. Get a couple orders done, print some DTFs, get some invoicing and quotes, and then the big thing is working on the business. I want to make sure that everything is, rock solid. We got to make sure we have that strong footing, otherwise the house will crumble. That's what I suggest you do as well. If you want to build that base so everything is fine there. What else you got? You guys got anything else? Is there anything else you want to chit chat, talk about before we call it a day? We're here. This is your time to shine too. Give me your wins for the week. Was there something that you're really excited about, or was there something that you're like, it wasn't the greatest, but we'll go ahead and we'll figure it out from there. Oh yeah, 100% Ray. Now Jeeps are status symbol in the opposite way they used to be. I miss my 92 Wrangler. Yeah, my 94 Wrangler is still sitting up back. I need to put the radiator in it, and I'll eventually get it back there. My first Jeep was 77 Golden Eagle with a 304 in it, and I remember buying it. We were at the air show. And across the way from the air show on a hill in the farmer's field, it was there and it was for sale. And I think at that time it was like $1,400 or something, which we're talking 25 years ago. So what's $1,400 in 2000 money, right? Like it may be before that. Now I got to see because I don't know. I just want to see what $1,400 in 1990 is worth or 2000 is worth today, because I don't remember if it seemed like a lot of money, but I didn't have any kids or anything. What is $1,400 in 2000 worth today? About $2,500. So yeah, about $2,500 is what it was. And they have kids, they didn't have that, and that was what it is. And man, it's such a ball, and that's what started it. We had the 77, and then 84, and then 86, and then I had a 74 G3000 pickup, and then it went to the Cherokees. I think at one time I had like 6 or 7 Jeeps. It was just a ball to have around, and then it's time to buy the first house. All the toys went away. The bikes went away, the boats went away, the Jeep. I was just telling my son yesterday at lunch about this. He doesn't have time. He said he thinks he's still on his boat because there's not time. I said, welcome to the Midwest where you don't have time, because you basically got, what's good boating weather? Half of May, and then June, July, August, and then maybe half of September. So you don't really have a big window for it. And you want to get out every weekend to enjoy it. Well, I went through that same thing, having the Jeep, having the bike, having the boat. I couldn't enjoy them all at the same time. So it ended up becoming the Jeeps is where it was at. But I missed the boat. We just talked about getting the Ski-Doo Switch. That is an awesome pontoon boat, but not at $50,000. It's not $50,000 fun. I can buy way more stuff with that. But we're close enough to the river. I said, let's get some jet skis. I can take the golf cart down there and put them in, and we can just go have fun for an afternoon. And yeah, just time. 24K. What's 24K? 24K for what? What's 24K? I need more information, Jeff. And I have had a CJ7 and Wrangler YJ. Now I own the Renegade truck, right? Or Renegade. Yeah. Because the Renegade was the truck. We had at CJ5. That one I had a briefly. I lost count of the CJ7s that we had. Wranglers. Or the YJ, I have had maybe 4 or 5 of those. The best one I had was the Sierra. The Sierra, I really love that one. It was all tan. I used it to move a couch out of my house one time because I pulled it through the house and pulled it out of the house because I didn't have friends that could show up for it. So I ran the winch in through there and I pulled it out and I pulled it on the side and ran it over and then set it on fire. It was great. But yeah, that was probably my most fun one. I think it was the most clean all the way around. But God, yeah, I've lost count the amount I had, and then I got rid of them, and then I got one and said, okay, we're gonna do this, and it's a dog. It's 4-cylinder automatic, and I said, when it goes, we're gonna V8 swap this and go from there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm looking at buying other things. I still want to get the Porsche Cayenne. I looked at 2 of them this last week. I still think that's the next thing I'm going to buy. So on that, because I don't drive a whole lot anywhere. I don't take the golf cart everywhere, but that needs a lift and that needs painted and that needs tires and that needs all kinds of stuff. Darren traded lifted Dodge Warlock for an 87. Oh, I remember those. An 85 CJ7 because I couldn't fit the twins in the truck. Yeah, I remember those. But the CJ7, it was Looking back, yeah, they still ride like crap. They just are leaf suspension, but then they're ball, right? Like winter, spring, summer, fall, you can have it all in the Jeep. And our thing, there's a couple places that was we lived along the river. Well, there's a couple places up north where we would go there during the day, basically biker destinations, and we would do the same thing in the Jeep. Like any place that we get into poker runs and things like that, we would just take the Jeep, four wheels. And at the time of my wife, if I had a few too many, she could drive it, and it wasn't any problem. But it was always, if you've been a Jeep, you've done this before, especially if you're somewhere where there's these things called nature around you. I'm not a city dweller. You're driving, and then you go into the valley, and it drops like 4,000 degrees, and it gets cold real quick. And we know how well the heat in Jeeps work. Yeah, those were some chilly rides home after dark. Uh, Kids fixed my toy purchase. I think, yeah, 100% kids fixed mine as well. And now it's time for me to start getting that. Oh, sorry, it's on the phone, but maybe I tip 5% of old school. Yeah, but I charge a lot to tint them. I don't blame you on that. Yeah, most want the clear windows on it. Uh, Having a boat is like having a pool in the Midwest. Don't get me started on the pool, Darren, because we got that too. Which Corey may or may not have not closed the pool properly, and she's like, "We need to drain it and clean it and do all this." And I was like, "Whatever. Give me 10 things of chlorine, and we're gonna have that pool clear." And it's clear, and there's a ass ton of leaves on the bottom of it, and the vacuum quit working. So I put a new valve on it, I put a new skimmer on it, and now, hey, I guess we got to go with a new vacuum. I was like, hey, you can get in there and swim, but I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm telling you, I don't mess. I don't think I've got in it in 2 years. Now this guy's tinting at 5% too, so super dark. Oh yeah, it is. Holy crap! Now, what I'm seeing a lot more of this, and then maybe it's just because of the side of TikTok that I follow on, but more of the colored stuff. Now, I remember, in the 90s, I would see that in the car scene, the red tint, the blue tint, the purple tint, the yellow tint. I'd see that more in our lowrider scene in that. But is that coming back where the colored tint? Let me know that. Four doors, a Renegade with the lift gate, not a truck. That is great. No, the Renegade. Oh, the Renegade. I was thinking, for whatever reason, I was thinking that the J10, the J10, J20. So the Renegade four door with a lift gate. What? Now I gotta think. Renegade, because see, mine was a Renegade. I had Golden Eagles and Renegades that were the model trim line, the trim line with it. The one that has eluded me was the old Jeep, the Scrambler. That is the one that has eluded me. I have not had a Scrambler yet, so I wouldn't mind getting one of those. But I'd have to see that, which that is. I'd have to see what that is. Renegade with a liftgate. I know. Uh, I've only had the Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee Liberty Diesel. Being 6'3", I always felt I was too close to the top of the roll cage. You're fine because it's behind you and on the side. You're close up there. You're good with it. Cherokees, the XJs, God, I don't know how many of those I've had. Those things are, especially before they switched everything out. You get like a 92 inline six. That thing's a beast. It's just going to run forever. I've looked at a couple of those recently where I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to get back in it. My thing is like when I look at how my life changed, where it was before, we did a lot of outdoor stuff. It was gone every weekend, whether we were four wheeling, whether we were taking, bikes on trip, we were just doing stuff. And then kids kind of put a damper on that, and that's when I got into, well, no, we're staying at home more for stuff. And now going through that process again, it's like, oh, we've got the pool and the hot tub and the golf cart and everything here, community. And I really, once I started having kids, got more into the I think as a male in the U.S., you come to that point in your life, and you're able to tell me this: either you're spending money on toys, bikes, motorcycles, race cars, things like that, or you're spending money on smoking meat. Right? You're grilling, you're cooking, you're doing things, and that's the point that I had come to where the toys went away. Sure, there was still one here or there, but became more the meat side of things, and that's now what we're doing. We just had that conversation this morning of what am I grilling out this weekend? What am I smoking this weekend? We had to buy a second car because I was too pregnant to reach the clutch and the steering wheel. Yeah, I can see that. Mine would snow. I've got old pictures that, in fact, there was one not too long ago where it was like negative temps, and I had taken the Jeep to go get diapers, and the only thing I had on it was the soft top but I didn't have any of the panels on the side. I didn't have the doors or anything else. It was just the soft top. But yeah, I had been known. There was a snow one year because I had one Jeep was sitting there and it didn't have anything on it and it was filled with snow. And I had a 72 GMC Jimmy, which, man, I really missed that one, but it was the plow truck. But I went to plow things off and I'm like, I wonder if the Jeep will just fire up and drive out of that. I went and shoveled it out and then my coveralls, turned it over, fired right up, 4-wheel drive, just drove right out of it, and it was up to the rockers in the snow. So I was like, yeah. So then, of course, you had to go out and play in the snow. But yeah, it was fun. I shared an interview with Layla Hormazi about getting past fear on Facebook. Soldiers always scared, but still move forward. On your Facebook, is that where you share that, Brian? We'll have to link that and bring it in. Let's Coming Back for most of it, not good film. Never has been. And see, that's what I didn't think it was right. Where I saw the worst part was trying to take it off. There was just garbage with it. But on certain cars, it looked good on. When they were color matched, when I found a nice gold, blue, red candy flake job of Scout, oh God, I think I am, I'm a lowrider at heart. I had a B2000 on hydraulics, and I could go back to that. I really, really could. And I'm starting to see mini trucks coming back, and I'm like, I'd get a mini truck. I had to put on bags now because they rode like crap, but I could throw some bags on that and have some fun. But once again, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have that. All the new Jeeps look like scramblers. They do. It's weird. The other thing too is the Gladiator truck looks like trash unless it's lifted up. It just doesn't look right. I don't understand it. I don't understand there. Driving down the highway with full soft top, full doors, the doors would suck in a good. Oh, right. Yeah. So I was in one, and the window motor got stuck, and so it would go one way, but it wouldn't come back the other way. So I took a lace out of my boot and I tied it to the wiper blade and I ran it inside. And when it would get stuck, I'd hit it and then it would come back. So that was me and the wiper. Wiper would go, I would just have to hit it and get the wiper back because those CJs, the wipers, I don't think were the greatest anyway. But I would have that on there and I would just pop that bad boy back. I remember Dre and I, oh God, he had been about 6, maybe. We had went to see Transformers. I think it was the first Transformers. Me and him went to the movies to see that. We were in the Jeep, didn't have the top on or anything. Gorgeous day out. And we came out, we were in it for about 5 minutes, and it just started pouring. And I didn't have the Bimini top. I don't know why, because I never did. It was always there. I always thought it was there. So I think it had to have been in the garage or something. But I was like, we're just driving home in this. So here we are. And, it's that summer rain where it's still like 80 degrees out and it's raining, but it's not like pouring down rain. But it was a fun time, and here it is, 18, 15 years later. I still remember that. So good times all the way around. But yeah, those things didn't have heater. We had the propane heater. That's what I put in mine. Little propane heater. We got one in the golf cart now too. Here, those work good for it. But all right. So we got stuff to do. Not a lot, but we're going with it. We've got stuff to do. It was a fun little chat today. Dax, good morning to you. Thanks for the transfer. A great hit. Everybody loved them. Love to hear that. Thank you for that, Dax. That's definitely exciting for it. But we've got stuff to do. We got to get stuff going so that way we can get out of here. We've got an hour and a little hour and a half to go get the kiddos. So I'm gonna set up some artwork, get that ready for print. We get invoices out. I got to make sure. That's what I'm working on the next hour. Which somebody had brought up something about doing a power hour, and I thought we could do that. If you become a member of this page, we could set that up for like a weekly thing where we meet, and then we can set up just an hour block. We'll figure out the best time, and that's what you do is we come in here. Here's what you're going to work on the next hour. You leave everything on. You go work for that hour. You come back. What did you accomplish? I'm like, that's not a bad thing. It was something that I could definitely look at doing. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments. That's always good. And as always, thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing and doing that. That's how you help us grow, and we really love it. We appreciate it. We do everything with that. Anything, and the views help. The views help all the way. I think we just crossed over 500,000 views, and I'm super excited about that. I know other people get, 500,000 views in one day on something, and some get like tens of millions of views in an hour. It's crazy, but It is what it is. And whoa, look at that. Jeff, another successful print. Who knows what's going on? You got it. Way to end the Friday. All right. We're going to get out of here. We're going to get some stuff set up and done because, like I said, we're going to pick the kids up in under 2 hours, and then summer officially begins. So we got to go do that. And SpongeBob the musical tonight. We're going to go see SpongeBob the musical. Super excited. Let the summer begin. All right. You have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We will see you guys Monday morning.